I've been noticing these days that I haven't been allowing myself to be bored enough. Anytime there is a brief moment of pause, often when I'm waiting, when I'm on my break at work, in between tasks, I find myself quickly going onto my phone and scrolling or moving between my common apps like Facebook, email, YouTube, Facebook Marketplace, Amazon. Often in a day, I can find myself looping between these few apps over and over and over, not allowing myself to have any moments of pause or stillness, or you could say boredom. And I've been thinking about that a lot lately. The problem too is that these moments of pause that I am filling with doom scrolling and circling between the same four app feels like it's become a pattern. As a millennial, when I was a kid and not having access to all of these technologies, when we had moments of pause, when we allowed ourselves to be bored, we created imaginative forts and new games. We role played, we dreamed, we adventured, and it's all too easy to find myself doing less of that these days. Where are my moments of creativity? Where are my moments where I allow my mind to wander and come up with some crazy, funny song by tapping my pencil onto my desk? Or take the old action figure toys that are in my room and create some kind of funny scenario with these characters, or go outside and sit on a field and daydream for hours into the abyss of the sky. And what I realized is I need more boredom, and I feel like most of us need it too. There is always something that's occupying our minds. So I learned about the DMN. Do you know what that is? It's the default mode network. These are these regions in the brain that are most active when you're not engaged on an external task. These are the regions of your brain that are responsible for self-reflection, goal planning, creativity, envisioning the future, reminiscing about the past. And these are very important processes for us to engage in as human beings. So I thought I would come on here and discuss a few reasons why you should be bored before you do anything else. In fact, make it your commitment this week to find yourself in moments of boredom more often. Make it a goal for yourself and see what happens. So when I use the word boredom, I'm using it to mean moments where we pause, where we are still, where we allow our minds to wander, where we are not preoccupied with some external task. Those moments that you remember as a kid where you're like, Mom, I'm so bored, there's nothing to do. Those moments in between your routines where you're like, what should I do next? My challenge for you is to stay in those moments for a while longer. So one reason why boredom is very important for our lives is because it's a chance to sit with ourselves. And if you think about it, how often do we sit with ourselves? I've heard some research, some studies that show that people are really scared to just stay with themselves and pause with themselves. It's like they don't want to face the emotions and the thoughts and the feelings and what's going on inside of them. So they'd rather be doing something, even if that something that they're doing may not be the healthiest thing for them, like scrolling your phone. This chance to sit with ourselves opens up self-discovery, reflection, self-mastery. When we sit with ourselves, we are not escaping ourselves through mindless doing, like circulating between these four apps on your phone. And it's a chance to check in and regroup before the next event, before the next task. And having this space is very important. Having this space to assess ourselves and to check in with ourselves and to allow whatever needs to bubble up and come to the surface to be there. Allowing a space for that to happen is really important, because when we just retreat to scrolling or going on our phone, maybe just putting on a show, watching TV, watching the next show, we lose this opportunity and our mind is lost in the next sensation, the next meme, the next story. A lot of what we are engaging in on those apps through scrolling have to do with other people's lives. We are consuming information that has to do with people outside of us. Usually, a lot of the time, it's not even people that we are connected to. And then the focus starts to move outside of us when there's so much inside of us that we need to deal with, that we need to curate, that we need to inspire and grow and incite. And then a lot of our time when the focus is put outside of us, this is where, we have other issues that come from that. A lot of mental health problems, like when we compare ourselves with other people, ego and competition and keeping up with the Joneses, and even just as it is, especially with young people, young women on social media, looking at other people's appearance and their physique and their bodies, and we start taking in all of this information and we start comparing and critiquing, and again, all of the energy and focus are on people and things and ideas that are outside of us and ultimately not relevant to us. Boredom, therefore, this chance to pause, this chance to be still and allow what is coming up inside of us to rise up. It becomes a chance, an opportunity to create and innovate, to change and enhance. If you've ever, I don't know if you remember, for some of us who are a little bit older, like the millennial generation, as a kid, I remember going outside and I loved to sit on the field and I would just stare up at the sky. And sometimes I would get ideas as a writer for like my poetry or for stories that I had. Things would come to my mind, just that creativity. And creativity and art and generating is just such an important human process. Most of what we see in the world, like I'm currently in my car and I'm looking outside my window and I see, buildings for the school that I work at, like all of this, like this architecture, everything that we see around us, the physical things, they all are here because of innovation, because of creativity, and we need the space for those thoughts to rise up. Being bored can inspire change. If you think about being bored, for example, in a job, say that you've been in a job for quite a few years and you find yourself feeling restless and just not as stimulated anymore, it gives you an opportunity to focus more attention on improving the position that you're in. For example, it could be improving the processes at your company. The downtime allows you to organize things more efficiently, focus on what practices or what routines or strategies can be enhanced to make the job better. Boredom also allows you to check in with yourself and say, is this job even for me? It can allow you to realize that you need to seek out a new position altogether or enter into a new path. And this one is something that has been on my mind as well. Boredom also allows you to turn certain aspects of your life into a practice. Like I'd been finding myself very restless, I guess you could say bored at my job, because I've been there for quite a bit of time, and I'm in a position where there's not a lot of new things coming up for me because I've been there for some time. That feeling of boredom has allowed me to say, like, okay, I want to make my job, my work, into more of a practice for me. That now my job is becoming a practice of discipline, like even though it may not be emotionally or mentally like stimulating, you can say it is like a discipline now for me to go there every day and to do the job well and to finish my day out in a way that I am proud of. I've allowed it to turn into a practice of consistency, routine, and steadiness. Like returning there every day is a way that I am engaging in being constant and being dependable. So that is another way that boredom allows us to develop ourselves, because I think about if you were in a position where every day there is something new, there is something completely new every day. Like, yes, that would be exciting. Maybe for some people that would feel very stressful, because I think we do need a degree of predictability as human beings. But I feel like that having that something new every day, or for some people, like when I think about like their dating life, they want to date lots of people, meet so many different people. Like it's hard for them to commit and be in one relationship, be in a steady relationship. So, and when things become steady, often that is where there may be a sense of boredom. That boredom indicates that there is some type of routine and consistency that is going on here. And that's something that is just good to be self-aware of, to deliberately, intentionally turn into a way to cultivate discipline. Another thing that I have noticed with boredom is that it allows you to notice more of what's going on around you. For example, if you're not busy scrolling your phone, engaging in that activity, going between these apps, you might be on the bus. As you look around at what's in front of you, you see people, you notice signs, you notice construction, you notice there's a new building going up, you notice that there's a new coffee shop on Main and 12th Street, right? Boredom allows you to notice more of what's going on, not just inside of you, but also around you, because you are taking in and observing and absorbing. When you are more stimulated or entertained or looking at your phone, just naturally, there are some things that cannot catch your attention, catch your eye, cannot enter you, because you are preoccupied. When we are bored, when we are observing and we're looking around, it enhances our curiosity, because we are seeing things that we didn't look at from the same eye. And that curiosity that is enhanced within us allows us then again to create. It's almost like a cycle. When we are bored, we are able to see new possibilities, imagine new things, and create more that enhances the world around us. Now, I feel like there's a million other things that boredom does for us. I feel like perhaps when we look around the world, like a lot of what we see could have come out of a feeling of boredom, like what we see created around us. What purpose do you feel that boredom has in your life? Do you allow yourself to be bored on a regular basis? And remember that challenge. Try to have at least like maybe 5 moments of boredom this week. My name is Imo, and if you are interested in more on the fly takes like these, please like, comment, and subscribe for more content. What do you think about this voice-only podcast style? I kind of like it. What are your thoughts? Thank you so much for your support. Bye.